Why hello, it's your gal Dimply back at it again with some more regular content. Halloween is over now. That's all gone and done. Every day of October is now done. If you want to go and check that out, then go and click on my channel and have a look. I've made a playlist for it where I put all the videos together. It's cool, but that's over with now. I am no longer doing a video every day. It's back to your usual weekly content where I do a mix of special effects and makeup. And maybe I'll throw in a couple of extra things like vlogs and cooking because you guys seem to like those relaxing videos in Halloween, so maybe I'll do more of that content. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if that's the kind of content that you would also like to see on this channel. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a super simple foxy-eyed kind of look where it's very focused in this direction, but also quite easy to do. Seems to be something that looks like it takes a great skill, whereas I believe it doesn't. I believe there's a simple way of doing it. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're going to start off with this All Day Primer in Matte Beige by Siero. This is a very new purchase for me. As you know, for quite a numerous amount of weeks, maybe even months at this point, I've only been using the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I do still very much like that primer. However, it has now run out and I saw that as ample opportunity to stray away from that primer just for a little while, just so then I'm not using the same thing over and over again. So we moved on. We moved on to other places, to other ventures, to other things. And this is the other thing. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that on the back of my hand and put it on my face. Oh, also, my skin has been absolutely horrendous lately because I have been an idiot and I ran out of my usual moisturizer. It's a moisturizer by The Ordinary. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it works for my skin much better than any other moisturizer that I've ever used, so I highly recommend. However, I ran out of that, and rather than buying new ones, I thought, hey, why don't I give this moisturizer that didn't work for me before, that I shoved to the back of a cupboard instead of throwing out for some reason, why don't I give it another go, you know? I can try again. You know, maybe my skin's changed, maybe it's changed, you know, maybe we're more compatible now. The answer is no, we're not compatible. And in fact, it made me break out massively this week, and I'm very upset by that. As you can see right here, there is a spot that I picked at and on my head here. As soon as the pimples started coming up, I realized that this was a terrible decision, so I then put in an order for The Ordinary. I learnt my lesson. Don't stray away from things that you know works well for your skin. It's a bad idea, it's stupid. Bigger lesson is when you find that something doesn't work for you, just throw it out. It's not worth it. It's not worth putting your skin through that kind of trauma. Just get rid. Just no. That's kind of like a life lesson in general, not just with skincare, it seems. Anywho, this matte primer is primed. Okay, complaining over, let's just get on with it and stop it. Well, what do you know? I was talking about The Ordinary, and I guess when I was ordering the new moisturizer, I ordered a couple of other beauties along with it. I'm excited to try out their foundation for the first time. They do two kinds. They do the serum foundation and they do the full coverage foundation. I want to try out today the full coverage because my skin is a piece of shit and I want to cover it. I actually haven't even opened these, so I don't even know what the packaging is like. This is exciting. Ooh, okay. It's kind of like got a matte feel to it. The top's kind of like matted and it looks quite nice. I like this packaging, but I also find that this kind of material seems to get smudged and dirty quite quickly, which is a bit problematic when you're working with foundation. As you know, it likes to smudge on surfaces and be a pain in the ass. So this is no doubt probably the cleanest this will ever look, and after today it will never ever be the same again. Oh! Well, it's quite runny, a little bit runnier than I thought it was going to be. I am considering on just applying this with my fingers as opposed to a sponge. I often find that when you've got runny foundations like this, using a sponge doesn't really work because it seems to just soak up all the product and you end up using half the bottle just applying it to your skin. So instead I'm going to use the finger patting technique. I find that if you are to ever apply foundation with your fingers, top tip, using patting motion as opposed to a smudging motion kind of then replicates what you would do with a beauty blender. In fact, it's very similar in that respect to using one of those silicone blenders. I never understood those, I never bought them. I tried one once that a friend had, hated it, didn't see the point in it, right? I found that my fingers worked the exact same way, if not better, because you could get into certain areas that you wouldn't be able to with a beauty blender. Silicone blenders, waste of money, don't point, just use your fingers. I don't understand. I wouldn't say that this is full coverage, I would say it's average coverage. Nothing really special there, but it does the job reasonably well. Right, moving on to the next step, which is a little bit of concealer. It's a bit of concealer right there. Nice little shot of that. I'm using the Catsmong Blemish Talk Concealer, which I've used a few times before. And I picked this concealer today because, as you know, I've got the blemishes. So we're just gonna use our fingers again because screw dirtying up a sponge just for a fucking concealer. No. Okay, we're good, we're fine, we're happy. Let's apply some powder. This is the Chica y Chico matte powder in matte pink because I am a pink lady. Moving on to some blush. I'm using the e.l.f. Always Rosy blush right here. I wanted to use blush for this because I wanted to give myself a nice autumnal look, and I associate blush with autumn. Okay, moving on to the highlighter. I'm using my trusty Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Sugar Kit. And I'm gonna use the Starburst today, which is this one right here. Do a little bit here. We'll do a little bit here. We'll do a little bit on the nose. Okay, moving on to the brow. I'm using the J.Moo Wondrous Easy Brow Tattoo. I like this brow pen because you can make it as defined or as natural a brow as you want. If you just want it to fill it in just a little bit like today, not do much, then you can do a little bit of this. Or if you want a nice strong brow, you can just go in a little bit heavier. It's great. Okay, the brows are done and we're gonna move on to the exciting part, and that is the eye makeup. Before we start applying any of the eyeshadow, we're gonna use one particular trick to get a nice foxy eye kind of look, and that is tape. You always use tape. You use tape for these because tape is your friend. Tape works well. Tape is the way that you get that nice straight line. You get some nice beauty tape. Don't use regular tape. It's probably a bad idea. Take a bit of that off, apply it in an upwards motion like so. So that's now on my face. I'm using my trusty Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. I've spoken about this before. I absolutely love this palette. The only thing that I dislike about it is the packaging. It looks very nice for like the first few months that you have it. Then the moment that you get any kind of eyeshadow on it, it's fucked. It's suede. It doesn't clean. It's a problem for me. I like clean packaging. So this is all about creating a gradient. You want to start off with the darkest color first and then work your way out into lighter colors. We also want to work with matte colors. I think you want to stay away from any shimmer, any glitter. I think it's too much. It's too overwhelming for the eye. If you stick with matte colors, you can make this work with any kind of color palette. You can use a colorful one. You can use a more natural muted one. The world's your oyster. Just fucking go for it. Just stay with matte ones. For this one in particular, I'm going to work with these three here. I'm going to work with this one, and this one, and then use this as my highlight, which should just be for my inner eye and my brow bone. We're going to start off with the darkest color, which is this one right here, and this one is called Passion. Dab a little bit on your brush, tap it off, don't blow, and then you want to work in a patting motion as opposed to a swiping motion. It's one thing to know when you're applying any kind of powder like this. The less you swipe around, the more control you have on your brush, the more controlled your eyeshadow is going to be, and you're less likely to slip up and end up with eyeshadow up here. We're just gonna pat. Pat is our good friend, okay? Pat loves us. Now I'm going to move on to the next color, which was Volatile right here. I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time above where we've just done the previous color. With this one, do tiny circular motions. And then the final color we're using is this one here, which is called Incense. Tiny bit of that, again, just slightly above where we just applied the last color. What I like to do is pat off my brush again, so then there's less product, and then do my circular motion. And I'm gonna apply this color right here called Beige here, and just apply it to my brow. I'm gonna take a little bit more and apply it to my inner corner here. And now we can remove the tape. Oh. Ooh, look at that. So then it's not too top heavy. We're gonna go in a little bit on the lower brow. Just use the lightest of the colors that we've just used. So I'm gonna use the Incense color right here. And there we go. That's the eyes kind of done. You could just curl them and put some mascara on there, or you can put on some fake lashes, which is what I'm gonna do. And the lashes are on. Let's see, are they looking normal? It's basically the question whenever I apply lashes is, do they look normal? No, they do not. And then usually the answer is, they're good enough. There's a new brand that I found called MDM Flow. Look at it, it looks like a little bullet. I don't know why that's cute to me. Subtle. Okay, so this is the final look. As always, if you like this video, then don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button. If you want to keep up to date with all of my shenanigans and be a full-on stalker, then click that bell icon and comment, because I absolutely love reading your comments. They give me joy and it helps out the channel. I also like hearing what you have to say. Any ideas that you have, anything like that, share it with me. I would love to hear it. Yeah. Bye!